Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to go over 17 changes that you can make in your workflow to make your videos seem noticeably more professional. So let's get into number one, which is write yourself an outline before you start shooting. Whenever I try to just sit down and wing a video, it never really goes to plan, and then when I'm in my editing process, I usually just get kind of frustrated at my lack of planning and the video doesn't come together as well as I wish it could. But if I sit down and make an outline like I have right here beforehand, then everything kind of goes smoothly because I can just use it as kind of a checklist while I'm shooting to make sure I don't forget anything. And number two, kind of in the same light, is build a shot list for your video. It's so much easier to just sit here and check off a checkbox about your videos instead of just kind of hoping that you got everything you need. Write out your outline of your script, then write down what kind of shot you're envisioning for each line of your script. That way, when you're out shooting, you can make sure you get enough coverage for the entire video. Number three, I'm not really doing right now, but you should definitely do it when you're shooting your video. It's exposed for your face and not the background or the entire scene as a whole. I don't have any lights right now, it's just me and my camera out here in the park. But if you had any control over your lights, I would definitely make sure to light your face as a priority over your background. I've shot a few videos like this one here where I lit my face properly but left the background pretty dark. And I usually like how that looks depending on the scene. So next time you're lighting yourself, make sure your face is the priority and not the background. And speaking of lighting, number four would be add a backlight if you can. On my normal videos inside of my studio, you can see this little blue line here. This light right here points to the back of my head and it separates me from my background. So I kind of stand out and don't blend into the background. Number five is an important one that I forget all the time still, and it's make sure you set your white balance before you shoot. I usually have my camera set to auto white balance, and for the most part that does the trick, but sometimes if the sun shifts or the light changes or any way, your white balance is going to change from when you first started shooting to your last shot of the day. So make sure every time before you shoot, you set your white balance manually, otherwise your video is going to look all over the place. This one I'm guilty as well, so number six is make sure you check your audio levels before you start shooting. Don't just trust that they're not too loud at peaking or they're not too low, or that your mic is actually plugged into your microphone port and not your headphone port. I've had that happen to me a few times, and it is extremely frustrating filming a video and then realizing that you didn't record any of the audio. So just take a few seconds and double check your audio before you shoot every single time, even if you know you had it set up correctly the last time. Number seven is shoot on manual, not on auto. If you're new to filming videos, that might seem a little intimidating, but it's really not that hard once you get the hang of it. I'm shooting in 24 frames per second, so my shutter speed right now is 1/50. And then since I'm outside, I have my aperture as low as it can go for f.28. That only so I can have a nice crisp background, but also so I don't overexpose my image while I'm shooting outside. And your ISO should be always as low as possible, otherwise you're gonna get a lot of noise inside of your footage. If you're this far into the video, I assume that you're a creator yourself, which means you might have some old stock footage that you shot from previous projects just sitting on your timeline. If that's so, just head over to creatorrestock.com and upload them there, and you can earn a little bit of passive income off of your old files. It's a site that I launched earlier this week, and I'm hoping to give back to creators so we can all earn a little more money because lenses are a little bit too expensive. And number eight is to think about using another camera angle if you're able to. Having one static camera can be a little boring after looking at it for so long, so having that second shot can really help just keep your viewers engaged and not too bored by just having something swapping between the visuals. Number nine is make sure you set yourself up on the rule of thirds. Notice where my eyes are in the frame when I put these grids up on the screen. By putting my eyes up on the top right corner on these lines, I'm intentionally leaving all this negative space here, and it makes the video seem a lot more readable than if I was just sitting here directly in the middle of the frame. And number 10 is if you do have lighting, try to move it off your camera by at least 45 degrees. Any light behind your camera is usually bad for your lighting. That's just going to shine directly into your subject's face and it's going to make them look overexposed. So if your light's right here behind your camera, move it about 45 degrees right here and make sure you shoot on the dark side of your face. Number 11 is take advantage of using depth of field. If you have a nice camera that has depth of field and not just your phone, make sure to try to use it for your advantage because people love a nice crisp background because it makes your videos just look that much more professional. And number 12 is to use lens filters when you have them. I recently just bought a mist filter for myself and I've been really loving using it. And the filter I have on right now is an ND filter since I'm outside. Otherwise, my footage would look extremely overexposed if I didn't have it on. Now moving into the more editing part of the video, what I like to do on videos like this where it's just one long continuous shot that I'm chopping up a bunch, I like to color grade it first. That way all my clips are consistent throughout my entire entire timeline. And then number 14 is don't forget about using sound effects quite abundantly in your video. That's one thing I used to struggle with a lot, is not putting any sound effects in my visuals. So putting any sort of graphic or text on screen should be accompanied by some sort of sound effect. Number 15 is make sure you mix your audio properly. Your background music should not overtake your dialogue, and make sure your dialogue is loud enough that I'm not fighting to hear what you have to say. A good rule of thumb is to have around -6 for your dialogue and then around -30 to 20 for your background music. Number 16 is make sure you cut before a silence takes place. When you're making videos like this, you might think, well, I'm going to wait until the absolute end of my sentence and I'm sitting here for a second and pausing before I cut. But if I actually just cut right when I finish speaking and not leave that pause there, the video will flow so much smoother. And then finally, the last piece of advice I can give you is when you export a video, make sure you export them all based on the platform specification. If you're exporting a YouTube video, make sure you look up what best export settings are for YouTube. And if you're exporting it for TikTok or Instagram, look up those settings as well, because they're going to have different specifications than what YouTube would, for example. And those are 17 changes you can make to make your videos just a little bit better. Make sure to subscribe below if you learned something, and check out creatorrestock.com if you want to sell some of your old files on there for free. If you want to check it out, hit the link in my description, and if you want to learn more about it, there's a video about it right here. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow for another video.